Happening today, the Standard Volunteer Expo has nonprofits flocking to downtown Portland.
Yeah, and one nonprofit, Everybody Athletics, offers inclusive exercise classes for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And through the power of their volunteers, they offer one-on-one opportunities to support those athletes. And we have Cor Hartland live from Pioneer Courthouse Square this morning to talk about more how Everybody Athletics is getting involved here with the Standard Volunteer Expo. Good morning.
Well, you've outlined it pretty well so far. That's what Everybody Athletics does here. This is Brad Franklin with me from Everybody Athletics. You know, from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock today, by the way, there's going to be over 100 different nonprofits here. And this is your opportunity if you want to volunteer with somebody to kind of come out here, do a little speed dating with the volunteer possibility of your choice, see if you like it, see if it applies to you and interests you, and you can get connected with a great volunteer opportunity. And Brad, Everybody Athletics is one of those. And again, just sort of summarize what you do, because I look at Everybody Athletics, I think, oh, it's a place to work out. It is in sort of a sense, but explain to me what you do first.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely a place to work out. We're a nonprofit and we run inclusive exercise classes for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
And so I'm thinking exercise. You also are telling me that there's a social component to this as well that volunteers may be able to kind of plug in with and help these folks, right?
Yeah, so our classes are inclusive, so we have a one-to-one ratio of teammates, we call them, volunteers without disabilities that come in and work out alongside and support our athletes during class.
Socially as well?
Yeah. So the way that our classes work is before you do an exercise, you have to complete a conversation starter question first with your partner. We're all about building both that physical strength and also the social strength in our adults with disabilities.
And you say in terms of the lineup of social services that people with adults with disabilities like that face, the ways for them to get help is pretty scarce out there, right?
Yeah, after you graduate from high school, there's just not a lot of services out there for adults with disabilities, and so there's just tons of statistics around both physical regression and social regression as well, and so that's why EBA exists, to kind of step into that void in services and try to provide that type of strengthening.
So somebody was coming down here today to volunteer, would have somewhat of an interest in people with developmental disabilities, adults with developmental disability, and what would they do typically when they'd walk in the door for a volunteer day?
Yeah, so we do both big group and small group activities during classes. So it's an hour-long class. You work with the whole group, and then you get partnered up with an adult with disabilities, and you move around the room doing different social and physical exercises together. And the other piece about it too is it's great when we have people that have experience with disability, but we like it even more when you don't, because then we're building new disability advocates and creating these new authentic, inclusive friendships along the way.
Yeah, totally cool. 60% of your revenue comes from donations, which is cool. Memberships are relatively inexpensive at $30, and where are your locations at?
Yeah, our main space is just right across the freeway from Washington Square Mall, but we also partner with Parks and Rec departments too. So we have a spot in Northeast Portland, 2 spots in Hillsborough and Lake Oswego, so there's volunteer opportunities all over.
Everybody Athletics is going to be down here at the square today. So getting volunteers, how many volunteers do you need? Just as many as you can get?
Oh yeah, we're never going to say no.
Never say no to volunteers. That's the mantra of nonprofits. Never say no to volunteers. In a really cool way, they're doing some great things for adults with disabilities and such like that, in terms of their physical exercise, some of their socialization as well. It's a cool thing. I didn't even know it existed. So there you go. Brad will be here with his group here from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock today here at the Standard Volunteer Expo under the big white tent here at Pioneer Courthouse Square.
Yeah, and that introduction is what this expo is all about, right? If you've been, thank you, Cor, if you've been thinking about giving back in some way and you weren't sure how, go ask your questions today. The Standard Volunteer Expo happening at 11 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock this afternoon over at the Pioneer Courthouse Square in downtown Portland. If you need more info, go to coin.com for that. But it really is a great spot to ask questions, see what nonprofits are out there, and which ones may need that help, right? Volunteers, it's so critical to the work nonprofits do.
I've had fun learning about some of these charities and nonprofits in the community that I didn't know about previously.
Absolutely.
So many folks doing so many good things. It's good vibes for your day.
It is.
It is. A little positive chunk of the day.
And we'll be out there a little bit later on, of course, at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And what are we going to be working with weather-wise?
Good